You ever hear a sound so raw, so thunderous, it doesn't just echo, it shakes your chest? That's not just noise. That's a Cat 3406 waking up. An engine so powerful, so relentless, it didn't just move freight, it moved an entire industry. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the one simple reason why modern engines still can't fully replace it. You'll discover how this mechanical beast became a symbol of reliability across America's highways, what nearly killed it, and the overlooked detail that still keeps it alive in rebuild shops today. Let's dive into it. Late 1970s. America was on edge. The oil crisis had hit, diesel prices were unpredictable, and environmental regulations were tightening. Truckers needed more than just horsepower, they needed trust, durability, and an engine that wouldn't quit halfway through a cross-country haul. Caterpillar, already famous for their heavy machinery, stepped into the long-haul game with something that didn't just meet the moment, it defined it. The 3406 wasn't made for weekend runs or city deliveries. This was a highway engine, forged in steel and sweat, designed to pull harder, run longer, and resist the kind of breakdowns that left rigs stranded for days. At 14.6 liters and nearly 900 cubic inches, the raw numbers were impressive, but they weren't what made it iconic. The torque curve was smooth and relentless, like a freight train that refused to stop. Drivers didn't just respect it. They trusted it. But with great power comes one unavoidable truth: expectations rise. And in the late 80s and early 90s, competition heated up. Detroit Diesel, Cummins, and newer electronic controls were promising better fuel economy and tighter emissions. Cat responded with updates, the 3406B, the 3406C, and finally, the game-changer, the 3406E. It brought electronics into the picture without losing the soul of the engine. With digital fuel mapping and onboard diagnostics, it opened the door to performance tuning and improved efficiency. But even with these upgrades, the heart of the engine stayed mechanical. That's what people loved. It still felt like a machine you could understand, fix, and trust. Then came the storm. In the early 2000s, emission standards tightened again. Fast. The kind of changes that didn't just demand tweaks, they demanded reinvention. And Caterpillar, for all its muscle, wasn't ready to play the long game with emissions. The 3406 was phased out, replaced by the C15. But something strange happened. Even as newer engines rolled in, the 3406 refused to disappear. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was practicality. Rebuild shops found that older 3400 NSXs could be restored to outlast newer engines twice over. Forums exploded with advice, tips, and rebuild stories. Mechanics passed them down like family secrets. The aftermarket grew, swap kits flourished, and owner-operators kept choosing the 3406 over modern engines. So what gave it this mythical staying power? Simplicity. Unlike today's engines, packed with sensors, software, and proprietary systems, the 3406 was built to be opened, tuned, and rebuilt without needing a computer science degree. It was mechanical, raw, and understandable. And that meant one thing: control. In the hands of a good mechanic, it could be anything: a fuel-sipping cruiser, a hill-climbing monster, a million-mile warrior. You didn't need to wait for a dealer-scan tool. You just needed a wrench, patience, and maybe some diesel in your veins. And yet, even legends have weak spots. Some late-model 3406 ES included a design change in the camshaft and head that quietly caused premature wear, a flaw many miss until it's too late. It's not common knowledge, but if you're hunting for a rebuild candidate, it could mean the difference between a dream and a disaster. Today, as emission standards tighten and electric drivetrains inch closer to reality, the 3406 represents more than just an engine. It's a last stand for mechanical purity, a reminder of when power meant gears and grit, not code and chips. But here's the big question: can something so analog survive in a world going digital? Are we seeing the final chapter of engines like the 3406, or will rebuild culture keep them on the road another generation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you've ever driven or rebuilt one, we want to hear your story. Hit like if this engine earned your respect, and subscribe if you want to hear more untold stories from the machines that shaped the road.